This was the weekend I gave myself 72 hours to finish every last wedding task, and my last brain cell was hanging on by a thread. I was still recovering from the stomach flu on my bridal shower day, juggling DIY projects in one emotional spiral. At this point, I wasn't sure if I was wedding planning or if the wedding was planning me. When I tell you, you are sitting on the biggest pile of crap, I'm not lying, but a lot of these packages have my address on them, so I'm not going to turn you around, but just know. It's bad. I had my bridal shower and you guys missed the whole thing, so I figured we'd do a little recap together. Under normal circumstances, I would have totally filmed like the morning of the bridal shower and like that whole weekend. It was not a normal weekend, unfortunately, and I'm gonna spare you of the details, but pretty much I had a huge flare-up of whatever stomach problem I keep having that's reoccurring, and I was in bed for like a day and a half absolutely dying, and like I'm surprised I even made it to the bridal shower, to be honest. There was a minute there where I was like, I can't even walk, so how am I supposed to get there? But we did make it there and it was incredible. I went in completely blind, didn't know the theme, like absolutely knew nothing, and it was absolutely incredible. We pretty much had an adult tea party. We had this like, old-fashioned punch bowl where the drinks like sit on the outside, and my nana had our throw blankets that we have been using like my whole life as tablecloths on the table. She market placed a bunch of tea set, teacups, tea plates, and they were so cute, and she actually gave them to me to bring home, which I'm so excited about. The table settings were incredible, like the details, 10 out of 10, the details. The little favors were adorable. All of the presents were like in the grass on a blanket. I just felt like I had literally stepped into my Pinterest board. That was very exciting. So we started off with little appetizers, and some of these appetizers I'm like so stinking cute. The food was so good. Every single person there pretty much contributed with food in some way, so it was so special. I'm like Jocelyn's on a first name basis. My friend Jocelyn, she had her family member of hers cook his like famous potatoes that I've been obsessed with since I was young, and that was just so nostalgic and so sweet. Everyone just had such a like special part in the day. I have never felt so loved than that day, especially like being sick. You know when you're just like really sick and you're like, once you snap out of it a little bit, you're just so happy to be like able to do absolutely anything. Like having that type of day after being sick, I was just like, oh my gosh, like everybody's taking care of me, and it was so special. And it was so nice to have like all my friends actually meet each other. Insert the dessert table here. Guys, we didn't mess around with the desserts, I will tell you that right now. Absolutely went wild, and like 90% of the desserts that we had were also homemade. 10 out of 10, okay? 10 out of 10. I think I have mine here, but we all painted a little pot together, and then we were sent home with some dirt with some seeds so we can plant something outside. We played like a bunch of games, and I have not looked at these, and we're like 2 weeks out from the bridal shower at this point, but some of these, they like wrote me little messages, so I figured we could go through some of them together. We had advice to the bride and date night ideas. All my friends know that I stress too much because it says always, never, sometimes you need to, don't forget, and I wish. Every single one so far for sometimes you need to is like take a break, or like have time with yourself to regroup and prioritize your own self-care. So they know me very well. I was like, this person has very similar handwriting to me. Literally my own card to myself. Sometimes you need to go to Cheesecake and vent with the girls. I love that. Oh my god, I'm literally freaking dying. Dominique, your card's making me crack up. My wish for you is that Casey will always appreciate how lucky he is to have you. And that's a fact. Oh my god. Carly, Casey's sister. Always give coffee scrub for Christmas. Check. I wish your future to be stress-free. Me frickin' too. Me frickin' too. My cousin Casey's handwriting is so little. Oh my gosh, I'm obsessed. Never let Casey forget to buy you flowers just because. Sometimes you need to eat dessert first. I'm like, the ladies are telling me, don't forget to make him do the hard work. Check. That was so cute. I'm just so happy I have those to like look back on whenever I need a little pick-me-up. Okay, we're gonna do speed round for date night ideas. I'm like, should I read these all or should I keep them? Honestly, I am losing my mind lately, so I probably won't remember anything I read right now. So I can read it all over again. I love this idea. Go thrift shopping and pick out the following things. Something in their favorite color, favorite candy, something to do together, and you pick a night to swap your things over a glass of wine. Couch rotting while both reading your Kindles. Sarah, yes, yes. That was a joke just for me. I always forget that the dine-in movie theaters exist, honestly, and I don't think I've ever been to one that I can remember, so that was a good one as well. Sorry, I said this was a speed round and I'm queen yapper. At home movie night, using a projector, build a fort, and lots of snacks. Love that. Beach picnic and sunset. Ice cream for dessert. Go to a fair and get all the food. Yes. Carly gave me like 5 ideas. Paint night. Game night, a visit the family, breakfast, go for a walk, then get Taco Bell. That's an iconic duo right there. Picnic, and at-home movie night. Again, go thrifting together, make a budget, and choose a category. Clothing, home, and kitchen, and find some treasures together. Those were all incredible ideas. Putting off folding my laundry. At the same time, I have been just like hyper focused on the wedding, and sometimes need to really sit with myself and be like, okay, I've spent the entire day working on the wedding. Like, I need to just take care of myself in this present day. That's kind of what I wanted to talk to you guys about, because I've just been having such a hard time with this lately. So far, wedding planning has been the most exciting time of my life, but at the same time, I don't know, like there's just so much that goes into it that I was not expecting. When I am working on a project, especially, like I've never worked on a project this big, but when I do work on a project, I almost like can't think of anything else besides that project and finishing that one thing, or I'm like paralyzed and I'm feeling so daunted by the project that I almost can't do anything. So I've kind of been like flip-flopping between those two states of being for the past like at least 3 months. I mean, Casey did have a longer engagement. I don't know, like part of me kicks myself for not doing things sooner, but at the same time, I'm a very creative person and I knew I was going to be doing a lot of it myself. And I know myself, and like the second I start something, again, like I said, it's like all I can think about. So I didn't want to start too early with the wedding planning because I knew that it was going to be a lot on me. I've never felt so many emotions at the same time, and it's a lot. I feel like this has been like one of my biggest tests as a perfectionist, to have a day where it's like we are planning a lot of it and we're putting our touch on everything, but at the same time the day is about us and being like fully present and relaxed. Me planning something and me being fully present and relaxed has never coexisted before. I think we're like 22 days out from the wedding at this point, so it's like it is crunch time. When I have a lot of energy, I just want to use it getting after whatever tasks I can, because I will go through like multiple day periods where I just don't even want to think about it, and I feel like I kind of have to take a break just mentally to stay sane. I just wanted to like take note of the fact that it is like you're under so much pressure when you are getting married, and never mind like the image part of it. I feel like I'm past that at this point. I'm not fully past it, but I've chosen to be past it. Lately I've been feeling a lot of pressure to be like going into the wedding in my best mental state that I've ever been in, and I'm like so ready for this next chapter. But I feel like in me and Casey's situation, it's just a little bit different. We ran out of camera battery, but I was basically just gonna say that because me and Casey have been together for an eternity, like we realistically know that not much is gonna change in terms of like our situation when we get married. I'm obviously still very excited to get married. So some days, because of that, if I'm being real, I'm like, why did we do this? Like, why did we put all this pressure on ourselves and voluntarily go through this? But at the same time, like I finished our officiant speech or like ceremony speech today and worked on that with Casey. Those type of moments really make me remember why we're doing it, and like it is such a celebration of us. I feel like we're in a pretty unique situation. It's like that deserves to be celebrated, but holy crap, is it a lot of work. I feel like in the process of planning, I have like lost so much of myself because I can't really afford to do like my normal hobbies or my normal routines, or like I'm honestly just like not in a good place with my diet or my exercise routine, and because of that I'm not doing as well mentally. I'm using so much brain power all the time to think about everything to do with the wedding and being stressed about like making sure everything's done, that I genuinely have been having like memory loss problems recently, and I don't know if I'm hoping that it's just like all the stress of the wedding, but it actually is very concerning because my short-term memory has been so bad. Like I can't remember conversations that I've had with people. If I don't write stuff down, I like genuinely cannot remember that I need to do something, or yeah, it's like not a great feeling. Like I feel like I'm not fully here, and I'm just like going through the motions and like literally doing the best I can. It's still some days just like doesn't feel like I'm doing good enough because I don't feel like my full self. I don't feel like I have my full normal self to handle everything that's happening right now. So I just feel odd. I don't have any wisdom when it comes to any of that. I just needed to like talk about it because I know that maybe somebody else has felt similar. I feel like I cannot be the only one that feels this way, and I just keep reminding myself of that, of like despite that this is a wild time. So happy that I'm like capturing it with you guys, and I'm so happy that we're doing it. It's just in the back of my head, I'm like, okay, I can't wait for our honeymoon. And after our honeymoon, I feel like I'm going to have like the biggest reset ever. Me and Casey have always been so focused on bettering ourselves and like helping each other better ourselves that I'm just so excited to like not have to be working on the wedding every weekend. Just not have like such a big project over my head, so I am able to like pour back into myself rather than into this huge project. I never want to sound like ungrateful. I'm literally so grateful that we're even able to have a wedding. I just think like two things can be true at the same time. That's my little yap session for right now. I have no idea what is on the docket for tomorrow, but I set up my printer today and I did mostly all of the printing that I could possibly do in terms of like the signage and the printable materials for the wedding. And I started making my table bag so that way everything is super organized. Feeling pretty good about like where we're at in general. I have no idea what our plans are tomorrow, but I will see you in the morning.
And I asked if any of you guys would be interested in a bookmark, and I got a lot of like positive responses from that. So I thought like, okay, maybe you could.
I'm currently making my bridesmaid like day of morning baskets or bags, and I feel like it took me a minute to figure out what the heck I wanted to even put in these baskets, so I figured I would show you the process. I just got these bags off of Amazon. The bags look like this, and then it comes with a light blue ribbon, and you basically like tie a nice bow when they're done. And then the pack also came with blue tissue paper, and this is like our main wedding color, but I also just think it's a very cute color, very bridal. So I will link it down below. It comes in a pack of 12. It potentially comes in other quantities, but also other colors in case you want them to match your color scheme, but they were pretty affordable. I think it was like $19 for 12 full sets of everything. I have this Sharpie that like pretty much matches the bag, so I'm just gonna write each of their names on the bags, and that's where I'm gonna start. I also did finish that photo banner, and I think we're gonna use this like on top of the gift table. There's like a mirror on the wall up there, so we're gonna put it there. And then I honestly forget if I showed these things, but we finished the unplugged ceremony sign, temporary tattoo station sign. This one just shows all of the different tattoo choices that they have, which I'm so excited about these. Then we have the patchwork painting instructions and the After the Tone audio guest book. Also finished all of our table bags, so basically on the day we can just throw these on the table and not have to figure out like what goes where, and it can just be like super quick because we don't have a ton of setup time. So I'm just trying to make it like the easiest way possible. Now I can give you our little haul for the bridesmaid boxes. First, I just have a disposable camera in here. The photographer is only gonna get there around like 1 o'clock that day, and I just want cute pictures of us like getting ready, or like maybe even the night before at rehearsal dinner. I figured I would just get us a disposable camera for the pre-celebrations. Also, these are for my bridesmaids. We're also doing some other gifts day of, and we're also writing letters to everybody, so everybody will also get a personalized letter. Under eye patches, little hair clips for doing your hair and makeup, liquid IV, breath mints, mini deodorant, super cute little fruit pens, a journal. This is how you know Casey knows my friends really well, because I got each of them a bracelet and I like customized the packaging for each girl, and Casey on his first try was like, oh, that's for Jocelyn, that's for Dominique, and that one's for Hannah. So he gets the aesthetic. But I got each of them one of these little bracelets. Oh, okay. And each one says their name on it and just says, "Thanks for being my bridesmaid. I couldn't tie the knot without you." So I thought those were really cute, and I just got like gold or silver based on their preference. So they will wear these the day of the wedding. So that's what I got as their little thank you the day of, just for helping with all of the events, keeping me sane, the whole 9 yards. I'm gonna finish writing their letters this weekend as well, so I can print those and tie up the boxes. My goal is to be fully done and prepped with everything by Monday, because we have a long weekend. It's currently Friday, so that's the hope, that is the wish, because I have my bachelorette next weekend, and then the next weekend's the wedding, so it's really like this is the weekend. So yeah, I'm gonna put these boxes together, and that way they'll be prepped and ready to go. One thing I love to do is just package something a little bit nicer, even if it's like a simple item. So how I did the hair clips was I just took these little sheets that I have for junk journaling, clipped them to the back, and they say to have and to hold your hair back. So just cute and adds a little something something. I also just taped the little pin right to the notebook. I have been in hyper-focus today, and I have not updated you guys, so I figured let's walk around and see where we're at. We found this sign, which is literally from the Dolly Parton line at Dollar Tree. Dollar General, I believe. And it's like a pretty good size sign compared to my hand, but it like fully stands by itself and basically just lets people know that we don't want them on their phones during the ceremony. We have a little floral setup to go with this right outside of the ceremony. I added to my table Ziploc, so it has the table numbers. I added 2 of the battery powered candles to each one. That way I just know that there's 2 per table, and I just tested one out and they're like flickery, just like I wanted. So those are the tables done, because the rest is just going to be florals, which the venue is doing. I'm currently trying to curate our Mr. and Mrs. table, and my friend at work gave me these glasses, and she said that they're actually candle holders, and I tested them out with 2 of the little candles inside, and they actually look so pretty. They're supposed to be for candlesticks, but I think they're gonna look cute. Oops. So I also have a bag for me and Casey, so 2 of these are for these glasses, and then 3 of them are just for the table. And then we have our little name cards, and then I currently have these candlesticks burning because exactly what is happening right here, I want them to melt like onto the candlesticks to make them look more used and worn in. I just prefer that look, so I'm just letting these kind of go for like a half hour or so, just to make them look a little bit more worn in and homey. And I'm gonna have those 2 with those 2 glasses scattered, and then we'll also have some bud vases on our table as well with florals. Last minute I just got a few of these today because I realized we really didn't have much for the cocktail hour tables. I just honestly didn't even think about it. So I just got these to just like put something at least in the middle of the tables. I put a little bit more effort into decorating the activities at the cocktail hour, but just not the table. So they'll be simple, but it will work. And then, as I showed before, I primed my painting to do that patchwork painting I showed you guys. So that is getting ready, and then I'm pretty much just gonna do some math and make it into a grid. That way people can just pick a square and paint whatever they want. It will end up looking like a little patchwork blanket.
Holy crap, look at all these photos.
Whoa. And somehow the checklist is finally done and the finish line is in sight. Thank you so much for sticking with me through the meltdowns and the wins. Next up is my Cape Cod bachelorette trip. Super cozy and exactly what I needed after this insane planning. So cue the calm and maybe a little bit of chaos. Thank you so much for being here, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.